evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. The annual Sunshine List was released this week, showing the names and salaries of Ontario public sector workers who earn $100,000 or more. And that list includes more than 1,000 people here in Thunder Bay. At the top of the list, local list is former COVID incident manager Dr. Stuart Kennedy, who was paid over $475,000 in 2021. Regional Hospital President Rhonda Crocker-Ellicott's salary was $369,000. Retired St. Joe's President Tracy Buckler received $343,000, and Medical Officer of Health Dr. Janet DeMille checked in at $418,000. In the education field, LU President Maura McPherson was paid $360,000 last year. College President Kathleen Lynch made $226,000, and the directors of Catholic and Lakehead school boards were both at around $200,000. For city employees, Police Chief Sylvie Hoth made $266,000, while Deputy Chief Ryan Hughes, who is currently suspended, made $238,000. City Manager Norm Gale took home $261,000, while Fire Chief Greg Hankio collected $186,000 last year. The start of the shipping season at the Port of Thunder Bay has been put on hold this weekend due to poor weather conditions in the Sault Ste. Marie area. Local port officials had originally expected the first vessel, the Captain Henry Jackman, to arrive today, and the annual Top Hat ceremony was scheduled for tomorrow morning at the Richardson Grain Terminal. But the gale force winds and cold temperatures near the Sault locks have caused a number of ships to delay their journey across Lake Superior. The first ships are now expected to arrive in the local port on Monday at the earliest. Council in Terrace Bay was in session this past weekend and adopted a motion that will change the procedure for meetings, bringing it in line with many other communities across the Northwest. As well, the town received a planning update on its upcoming 75th anniversary. Ryan Benazzo has the details.
Starting at the next council meeting and at every meeting thereafter, there will be an acknowledgement of the lands upon which the community resides. Terrace Bay Mayor Jody Davis says land acknowledgements are standard at many meetings and events in Ontario.
And certainly understanding the importance and the relevance of the Indigenous people in Canada. And we're a little slow even in formalizing our response to the beginning of the meetings and recognizing the role and importance of Indigenous people, and we are going to do that.
Davis spoke with fellow Mayor Wendy Landry, who provided him with her council's land acknowledgement. Davis says Terrace Bay will use the same language. Council also got an update this week on this year's 75th anniversary plans. Organizer Gary Adduono says the central theme is about commemorating the past and celebrating the future. It will start with a special event in the Simcoe Plaza.
With our opening ceremonies, opening a time capsule that was done 25 years ago for the 50th, and really kind of meet downtown, which was kind of one of the key projects to the revitalization of our community. And then the end of the weekend, we're going to finish off down at our beach waterfront project.
Davis says he's excited for August and notes there's still a bit of a situation to deal with to make everything run smoothly.
One of our biggest problems is going to be, and what a problem to have, is finding locations for all the campers that want to come and camp here.
Terrace Bay's 75th anniversary celebration will take place from August 18th to the 21st. Ryan Benazzo, TBT News.
Despite the wintry blast we all experienced this week, spring is officially here. So that meant that last weekend was the final chance for Terrace Bay's Winterfest to truly be a winter festival. Hundreds of residents gathered at the frozen golf course to celebrate the end of the winter season. Adam Riley has the story.
The sun was shining in the sky for the last official day of winter, making it the perfect day for residents and visitors in Terrace Bay to celebrate the annual Winterfest. Normally held on the Family Day long weekend, COVID restrictions forced the event to a later date. But Mayor Jody Davis says despite the delay, it was still a perfect event.
Staff looked at it and they said, we can make something happen, and they did. And I got to give a lot of credit to the staff for doing this in short notice, and all the vendors coming in on short notice. So it's made for a great day.
The temperature that day ended up pushing its way into the plus 11 range, which was great for many, but not so much for the La Francophone Club, which was operating at Cabana Sucre and had to change its initial plans of a French-Canadian classic, Sugar and Snow.
We couldn't spread our toffee on the snow because the snow wasn't kind of good enough for it. and the temperature. And so anyways, but we managed, and the idea of having a snow cone, a maple syrup snow cone.
Among the many activities, aside from the sweet treats, attendees had the options to go painting, roast marshmallows, go sliding, or even dog sledding.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I liked the dog sled, and the tubing was really fun. I liked all the activities. The bouncy castle.
The bouncy castle. Did you bounce pretty high?
Yes.
Following all the fun in the sun, residents later gathered in the Simcoe Plaza, where a spectacle of fireworks capped off the festivities for another year. Adam Riley, TBT News.
A Sault Ste. Marie man will be traveling to Rome to meet with the Pope at the Vatican next week to talk about the impact of residential schools. Mitch, Métis Nation of Ontario Regional Councillor, will join First Nation delegates who will be speaking with the Pontiff at the Vatican about the impact of residential schools. Adduono First Nation Chief Dean Sayers, who is not part of the delegation, said an apology is really shallow unless there's some substance attached to it, and that they have some hopes and expectations and don't think the Pope and his advisors are ignorant. He thinks they have the intellect to be able to provide substance and direction. Pope Francis will meet with the delegation on March 31st, which Case says an apology from the Catholic Church is only the start.
The fact that no previous pope has apologized is quite frankly unacceptable, and I think the fact that this Pope Francis has made this opportunity for the survivors and for our leadership to go there, I think is a meaningful step forward. But an apology is just that. It is just an apology, and it is only the first step.
The North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit is reminding the public to be vigilant as more public health mandates drop in April. CTV's Eric Tashner has the details.
Ontario could be on the cusp of a spring wave of COVID-19, according to one doctor. He's concerned about wastewater surveillance data showing higher levels of the virus spreading in various communities.
I have seen a bunch of people who are continuing to mask despite the mandate being lifted. I think that's a good idea, especially as we're on the cusp of a spring wave.
As Ontario remains committed to lifting the final public health restrictions in April, the North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit warns the pandemic is not yet over and says people need to still remain vigilant.
We are already seeing increases in 16 of the 34 health units in Ontario over the last 14 days, and 21 of 34 health units with increases over the last 7 days.
Locally, there are 5 people in hospital with COVID-19, and there are currently 109 active cases. With mask mandates being dropped and large gatherings and events being hosted, there are concerns that infectious rates will climb.
We're seeing a rise in cases as well before the lifting of the mask mandate, so that further muddies the waters. So I think really it does come down to that individual choice at this point.
Dr. Zimbalatti says the public needs to find a balance in both risk and protection when it comes to the future of COVID-19. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
As we all know too well, this past week saw plenty of snow, and the skiers at Loch Lomond ski area have been taking full advantage of it. Skiers will be able to enjoy the slopes even longer as staff at the ski hill are hoping to stay open until mid-April. Jessica Clement reports.
With it almost being the end of skiing season, Loch Lomond was blessed with a snowfall warning as the area received 50 to 60 centimeters of snow this past week. And after the staff were able to groom it out, it's been perfect for skiing. The city's forecast is showing even more snow on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and if this keeps up, Carter Morash, pro patroller at the Hill, hopes that they will be able to stay open until mid-April and maybe even longer.
So at the moment, we're looking like we'll be open at least until Easter weekend, if not later into April. Getting more snow from here on out is only going to be a benefit. Next week, we're looking between 5 to 10 centimeters, adding to our base, so any more base we can get is just a bonus for us.
This is great news for avid skiers and snowboarders who we spoke to at Loch Lomond, and they said they were excited they'll be able to get a few more runs in before the season is over.
Well, it's good news. We're looking forward to it. Hopefully the conditions stay the way they are and we'll have a real nice spring.
I feel pretty good about it because it gives me a few more times to go skiing. and I really like skiing.
I feel good about it because it's more training time and more ski time for us, and I feel like it's really good.
And only time will tell if the snow continues to fall here in Thunder Bay as spring continues to be pushed back. Jessica Clement, TVT News.
Now joined by sports anchor Kurt Black. Now, Kurt, I don't think there's a better way to start off the SIJHL season, especially with the two teams we all want to see it here in Thunder Bay.
Yeah, absolutely. A perfect way to cap off what has been a difficult but great season all the same. You know, when the North Stars and the Walleye get together, it's going to be a show. We'll have the highlights from last night right after the break.